Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Dalton at Dalton95, which is another Transformers Age of the Primes video, and today we're taking a look at, well, it's numbered 4 out of 5, but the last one I got of the Aerialbots. Of course, Fireflight. Some people are still calling them Firefly. I mean, it says right there, Fireflight. Of course, the last member of the Aerialbots, like I said, 17 steps, turns into the F4 Phantom, or an approximation of it due to more minimal retooling than Air Raid and Skydive. But here we have the 3 primes that he could be descended from: Alchemist, Micronus, and Solus. So should have Micronus very soon. 17 steps, collect to combine. Very nice image there of him in his F4 Phantom mode. Again, liberties taken so they don't get in trouble, because those are licensed jets. So there he is. So let's go ahead and get him opened and check him out. And here we have Fireflight out of his packaging, and he's the same basic skeleton and mostly the same mold as Slingshot, though there are definitely some changes that have been made. Less obvious here in robot mode. All that's really new here is the chest, the head, and the nose cone. So just to prove that, here we do have Slingshot. So you can see the arms are the exact same mold. The waist looks to be... oh no, the waist is different. But yeah, the hips, thighs, and lower legs are the same, at least for the front. Chest, at least these details are new. It's hard to tell with the paint, but it looks like this is all new right here. I'm not seeing a lot of the same details there. And he does include as well the same weapons. Now, I can understand why they included these particular weapons. Again, they are similar to the G1 show model. It's just on the show model, these come down like this little, there's a little section that comes down past this, and there would be no way to store that on him in vehicle mode. So I can understand why they went with these, just again. So instead of having them attached like I do with Slingshot, I'll just keep them in his hands as 2 double-barrel pistols. And here we have Fireflight with his Combiner Wars counterpart, that being Firefly. So, let's see, of course, this goes for a little bit more toy accuracy with the mouth plate, and of course, you know, the traditional jet on the back. Now, this one, you know, much like Slingshot, pulls kind of a dirge and has the wings on the legs. Now, they are supposed to be up here, like in the original show model. Don't know why they didn't even try doing that here. They could have used these spots here for the hinges, kept the wings up here, and then for whatever reason they also left the feet molded in that palm plastic, that black palm plastic, which means, you know, the blasters themselves and probably the hips would have also been molded in white if, you know, if the feet were molded in white as well. So we'll like to see if Toy Hex does just a separate set to have these as white, have more accurate tune details. But it's not the end of the world. I mean, it does look pretty cool still. So, being said, let's go ahead and look at the new details, such as his head sculpt, which again is based on the cartoon model. Yeah, it looks kind of bland. I mean, I wish these guys had more smiles and smirks. I think the only one that has pretty close to a smirk is not even Slingshot. But I guess we'll go articulation on him real fast. Of course, it's the same ball jointed head. You did get 360 at the shoulder. You get the hot rod or trigger happy shoulders, so they're kind of limited in how well you can use them. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbow. Got a waist swivel forward and back at the hips. Get all the way out, thigh swivel, 90 at the knee, and all the way down for ankle tilt. And you can even put the foot down, even though that's just part of the transformation. So let's go ahead and get him with the rest of the Aerialbots. And of course, here he is with the other Aerialbots. So yeah, I mean, he looks good. We'll go more in depth with these guys in a future video. Might be the one right after this, might be, the following week. I'll just see how things happen. So yeah, so there's that. So let's go ahead and focus back on Fireflight. So once again, his transformation is pretty much straightforward since it is the exact same as slingshot. So we'll move the blasters, go ahead and fold these arms around like this, fold them up. There is, oh, it's not going to plug into the arm, it's just more going to rest there. Rotate, flaps up, rotate the head around, flip out the landing gear. Go ahead and tab the legs together, fold out the wings. Actually, just fold them out a little bit like that, just for now. Allow us to bring this up. It's on a double hinge, so just kind of bring it up like that. And we'll tab in right there. Same thing, bring it up on the double hinge, plug it in. Undo the front of the legs. That will allow you to collapse them down. Put that all together. Bring the feet and the heels together. Flip up the fin. Untab this. Bring it down. And just kind of bring the wings down at kind of an angle. And there we have Fireflight in his F4 Phantom style jet mode. Now it's not 100% an F4 Phantom because of course there is, I believe there is actually a copyright on the actual jets, but you can see some of the styling after it. So it's a mix of an F4 Phantom and a Harrier jet. So tail fin, F4 Phantom, wings, some of this newly molded bit here, definitely based on F4 Phantom. Same with these intakes and the whole front fuselage here, but it does have these rounded sections just like the Harrier jet. But I believe some versions of the F4 Phantom did have that kind of housing around the intakes. So it's kind of a mix of the two while leaning more towards the F4 Phantom. I'll go ahead, plug that in, and same on this side. Yeah, so it goes from a mostly white robot to a mostly red jet, and I really love the colors all throughout here. So you got this kind of gunmetal gray going down the fuselage here. You got the, of course, black nose cones, silver windows. You got blue and yellow here striping on the wings, same on the tail fin. Very nice jet mode once again. So let's go ahead and bring in, compared to Slingshot. So you can see definitely lots of new molding between the two. So you don't have these little sections up here. They do here. Got these two ridges that aren't there, but you got little mini intakes there. Get this section here that looks like it could be an Autobot symbol. There's all this different paneling here, different nose cones, different wings, and the wings are lower on Fireflight. Of course, different tail fins. So they do more to differentiate these than initially expected. So there are those two. And I guess we'll go ahead and do Combine Wars. You can see this is just straight up a variation of Harrier jet, whereas this is more F4 Phantom, a little bit of Harrier jet thrown in just to keep from getting in trouble license-wise. But yeah, I don't know how you're going to say this looks better than this. Like, it's more low-to-ground jet. There's not toes sticking off of it. Like, and it's a lot less obvious that it's a robot underneath. Like, this is one of the very few times that an Aerialbot isn't just a refrigerator strapped to a plane. Like, I think it even does better than Slingshot. Just because of those wings being a little bit lower, so you can get that proper phantom look. So yeah. So that being said, let's go ahead and get back into robot mode before we can get into final thoughts on the figure. So fold those down, fold that up, remove the blasters from the wings, untab the front. So undo that double hinge, close those back up, fold the wings back, bring this section back, fold up the landing gear, bring out the arms. It's a little bit tricky due to, I guess, yeah, the white paint in there. Straighten that all out. Bring that down, fold that down, straighten it out. Rotate the head around. It's very tight on my copy. Split the legs. And there we have Fireflight back in robot mode. So let's go ahead and get into final thoughts. So when it comes to these, or this round of Aerialbots, I guess this pairing of, you know, retools from the other two, honestly like this, I think, a little bit more than I do Slingshot. Just the colors work. The jet mode's still really cool. I mean, it's still limited by the mold choice, don't get me wrong, but I honestly think it looks really good. I love the red plastic, love just the shade of red. It's not super vibrant, but it's not overly dull either. It's just that nice sweet spot of dark Autobot red, and it works. Pair that with the black, white, silver, and of course accented by yellow and blue. I mean, yeah, it works. I do like the more striker head. I do hope they do a toy deco with the, you know, the toy accurate heads for all 5 of the Aerialbots. I guess Silverbolt's not too far from his original toy. Include like the face with the mouth, I guess, the red or blue visor. I mean, take whichever one. But yeah. Well, we'll get to Superion shortly, but yeah, that's pretty much it for Fireflight. One of my favorites of the Aerialbots. Him and Skydive are definitely up there for the limbs. I guess it's one of those things that you just change, but we'll get more into that when we cover the actual thing. So really like Fireflight here. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to let me know what you think of Fireflight as well down below. And stay tuned for the full Aerialbot / Superion review. So long. Take care. Check out those links below. I'll see you next time. Stay long. Take care.